Okay, we'll start with book one, The Gunslinger. I'm leaning A tier.
Are you serious? The most obvious S tier imaginable.
Both of you are out of your fucking minds. Gunslinger is B tier at best.
You're a complete idiot.
Look, I think we can all agree that while the first book laid the foundation for the series while establishing an amazing mythic Western setting, it still has its flaws. I mean, King was like 19 when he wrote it, the heart was there, but he was still learning his craft.
The man in black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed. That's all I have to say. S tier.
No chance. What even happens in this book? Jake shows up, they walk through some tunnels, he dies. The end.
Fuck you.
You're mad because you know I'm right.
Your idiocy doesn't even need correcting, but I'll do it anyway. The massacre at Tull, Roland using the hawk to defeat Court, his choice to let Jake die, which reverberates throughout the entire series. I bet book 6 is your favorite.
Yeah, it was so good, King had to go back and rewrite it, so it made sense with the rest of the series.
What's wrong with making things more cohesive? Look, I'm putting it in A tier for now. We can come back to it later. Next up is Drawing of the Three.
S tier.
What? It's maybe A tier, and that's pushing it.
I was leaning B tier.
You queers like some fairy in a cape more than mob shootouts, drug smuggling, Roland and a heroin-addicted Eddie sharing a fucking body, Jack Mort fracturing Susannah's psyche. And let's not forget the lobstrosities.
Dudda-dum, dudda-chick.
It's too pulpy for my taste.
I'm surprised you could stay awake, Sleepy Joe.
We can't just put everything in A tier.
B tier is a goddamn travesty.
That's where it belongs.
You belong in a nursing home, fuckface.
Let me be clear, I have final say, it's B tier for now. Moving on, The Wastelands.
The easiest fucking possible S tier.
Agreed. Thank you, Cy.
Obvious slam dunk, S tier.
God damn, this book fucking rules. Jake going insane because he died in another world. Shardik the bear.
Fighting the TikTok man in the ruins of Lud.
Blaine the mono. Yes, it's all amazing. Moving on, Wizard and Glass.
F tier.
I hate you so much.
Is there anything lower than F tier?
You're such a poser. You weren't even into the Dark Tower when book 4 dropped. You have no idea how hard it was having to wait 6 fucking years.
Thank God, because I would have lost my shit if just as the story gets going, we have an 800-page flashback to Roland getting his first piece of pussy. Never has anyone more obviously stopped doing coke than Stephen King in the gap between books 3 and 4.
A mature, introspective look into Roland's past and his coming of age. His first tragic love with Susan Delgado.
Gay.
Of course, you and your whore wife wouldn't understand.
Let's keep personal insults out of this, fellas. Remember, we are quartet.
Learning more about the friendship between Roland, Cuthbert, and Alain. It's thoughtful, it's touching, it's great.
We start with an unimaginably cool sequence where Eddie tricks Blaine into self-destruction with jokes and riddles. Then we disembark into the fucking Stand universe. We're fucking chilling with Oi, walking along when we see "Watch out for the walking dude" slashed into a street sign. Holy shit, I can't fucking wait to see what happens next. Then we sit down at a campfire and spend the next 700 pages talking about Reaping Day and Shimi the magical retarded boy.
He's got a point, Joe. Also, I thought the Wizard of Oz stuff at the end was kind of weird.
If you put Wizard and Glass any lower than B tier, you've forgotten the face of your father.
Fine, B tier for now.
Way too high, but whatever. Wolves of the Calla.
Technically, the next book is Wind Through the Keyhole.
You've literally got dementia.
He's right, Donald, but we'll save that for another day. Honestly, I don't know where to rank Wolves.
Almost as boring as Wizard and Glass. Would be D tier if not for the Father Callahan section.
Big surprise you don't like a slow burn leading up to an inevitable battle in a loving homage to Seven Samurai. Subtlety was never your strong suit.
Do you even remember a single thing that happens before the battle at the end?
Don't Eddie and Susannah go to New York? There's a rose or something.
Exactly. Sleepy Joe doesn't remember. No one does because it was boring.
Now I remember it just fine. Susannah is impregnated by the demon, and the final battle between Roland's quartet and the wolves is freaking epic.
Yeah, until they find all that stupid Harry Potter shit. Remember they meet the bookseller named Calvin Tower? Lol, are you fucking kidding me?
I have mixed feelings about the explosive snitches.
Fine, you've convinced me. C tier, onto Song of Susannah.
F tier.
Finally got
I'll
one
admit
right.
book 6 isn't the greatest, but putting any of King's work into F tier seems sacrilegious to me.
Oh really? Dreamcatcher? Lisi's story?
Lisi's story was fucking amazing, you Philistine.
Guys, come on.
Song was a necessary bridge between books 5 and 7.
They hide Black 13 in a locker at the World Trade Center and it gets destroyed on September 11th.
Ugh.
Joe, you've got to admit that's pretty bad.
Look, it was 2004. 9/11 was still a fresh scar on our collective subconscious. It probably seemed meaningful at the time.
They meet Stephen King in the book, and he's basically God.
Say what you want about it, at least it was a bold move.
I'm putting this in F tier. I don't want to talk about this piece of shit book any longer. Finally, let's discuss Book 7, eponymously named The Dark Tower.
C tier.
What?
Did I stutter?
I could maybe see someone making a case for B tier, but C tier? You're just being contrarian.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. C is an average grade. Book 7 had some good parts, a lot of bad.
You know a lot about being a C student.
I think we can all agree Ted Brodigan's backstory was dope.
Yeah, Devartoy and the Breakers stuff was all cool. But then to balance that, you have Jake pushing Stephen King out of the way of a van and dying.
Thematically, it makes sense.
I didn't have a problem with it. If you're going to include yourself, may as well go out with a bang.
Both of you are like children, easily amused. Look, I'll admit Book 7 had a lot of good shit. The battle in the Dixie Pig. Dandelo.
Man, Dandelo telling jokes was so damn creepy. And then when the spell is broken and his house is revealed to be this dilapidated hovel, fuck, that was tight.
Sure, but then you forget that right after Susannah leaves through a portal because of reasons. And then Mordred, who is built up for like 2 books, shows up to do nothing except kill Oy and then immediately dies.
I cried when Oy died.
Pussy.
You didn't?
Of course I cried. It was fucking sad. Oy was the man. But his death felt cheap, and don't even get me started on the ending.
We could have a whole other video just on the ending.
Remember how chill it was that the whole book of Insomnia was just to save Patrick Danville so he could help Roland and Eddie. Then King retconned that so Eddie isn't even there. Fine, whatever. But then instead of an epic battle, the Crimson King is some screeching autist, and Patrick, another magical retard, by the way, just draws him out of existence.
The Crimson King was supposed to be a paper tiger. That was the whole point.
They still could have had him do something except yell and throw Harry Potter snitches at Roland.
What about the tower itself?
Time loop. New game plus. Find the Horn of Eld at the Battle of Jericho Hill to get the good ending.
I thought it was good. No ending was going to live up to the dark tower I built up in my mind. Hell, King warns you in the coda you're not supposed to like it.
Cop out, cop out. Try harder next time.
I'm putting it in B tier. Well, that wraps up the books. Now, what did we all think about the movie?
I'd say what I think, but I'd probably get put on some sort of watch list.
I want my $15 back.